We are live now.
Roger. Upon like you're done, rather face the east. Oops. Let's say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abinau, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakuka, Taba'ah, Nadazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barakazah, Kawah, Hayah, Hashemayim, Ladananau, Lakam, Call, Yawam, what's luck now? Milwaukee now. Kazalak now, Milwaukee now, Wala'ah, Tabaya now, Manasai Ball, Rawashai now, Mayan, Rad, Kaya, Laka, Malakwa, Watapar, Tawalaya, Amma.
In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen.
Psalm 21 in the Hebrew.
Asha'ah,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Alahari,
Alahari,
Nayan, Ba'a, Azaria, Ma'ain, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Barakazah, Al-Yatan, Mawat, Regalka, Al-Yanamon, Shamarka, Tanakh, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yasham, Shalmar, Yasha'ah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashemash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayara, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal, Ra'ah, Yashamar, Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazalka, Wabawaka, Mayaka, Wa'ai, Iwalam.
In English, I will lift up mine eyes.
Unto
the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help coming from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
Prayer for the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. Ba'okashah.
Dhananam.
Baka. Rapa'ah. Kalmakala. Kalmadawa. Baka. Latahar. Amatazari. Baka. Lahaki. Amati. Baka. Arakawa. Atama'ala. Garsham. Ba'ashim Yahushua.
The power in English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh, please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
Prayer to bless Israel. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim Yahushua.
Hashim Yahushua.
Barak Lanau.
Barak Lanau.
Yasha'Allah.
Yasha'Allah.
Rabayah.
Wahabayah.
Safari.
Safari.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa'ah.
Raka'ah.
Magun.
Gun.
Agun.
Hagun.
Say the name of loved ones once, everyone repeats the name once.
Israelite School UPK.
Israelite School UPK.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
ISUK Minnesota.
ISUK Minnesota.
All of Israel.
All of Israel. All of ISUK.
All of ISUK. All of ISUK.
ISUK Minnesota.
ISUK Minnesota.
All the destroyed of Israel.
All the destroyed of Israel.
All of ISUK.
All of ISUK.
Apostle Sarah,
Apostle Sarah.
Arnold Johnson,
Arnold Johnson.
Monique Johnson,
Monique Johnson.
Kenneth Johnson,
Kenneth Johnson.
Bashim Yahushua.
Bashim Yahushua.
The water among.
Water. Bless Israel in the English. Lord in the name of Yahushua.
Lord, in the name of Yahushua.
Bless us in Israel.
Bless us in Israel.
In the school.
In school.
Bless Hill Shield Protect.
Bless us to protect.
Loved ones.
Loved ones.
In the name of
In the name
Yahushua.
of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Elahayah.
Ahayah.
Al-Damayah.
Adamiyah.
Lakah.
Lakah.
Al-Takarash.
Al-Takarash.
Al-Tashakwat.
Al-Tashquat.
Al. Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Al-Yabika.
Kawabika.
Yaham.
Yaham.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Imaka.
Al-Maka.
Yahayamwa.
Yawayam.
Sawad.
Sawad.
Wayata.
Ayatha.
Yatazaw.
Atazawa.
Al-Tazawakanka.
Atazakonka.
Marwa.
Amara.
Lakaw.
Lakau.
Manakidam.
Mahakidam.
Magaria.
Magari.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yasakar.
Sham.
Sham.
Yasha'al.
Yasha'al.
Aywada.
Aiwata.
Ayah.
Kayam.
Yatazaw.
Nasazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakadwa.
Kawa.
Al-Yaka.
Ayatha.
Barayah.
Barayah.
Yakarafwa.
Yakarata.
Aliyah.
Aliyah.
Adawam.
Adawan.
Wa.
Wa.
Yashimai.
Yashimai.
Alayam.
Alayam.
Mo'aba.
Mo'ab.
Wagari.
Wagari.
Kabal.
Tabal.
Waimawan.
Wagaman.
Waimalak.
Wamalat.
Alashah.
Abishah.
Ain.
Ain.
Tishabi.
Tishabi.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam.
Gam.
Ashawar.
Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Amam.
Amam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarwai.
Zawa.
Banya.
Banya.
Lawat.
Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Ashah.
Ashah.
Laham.
Naham.
Kamadi.
Kamati.
Yasara.
Kasiyah Sirah.
Kayabi.
Kayab.
Banaka'al.
Naka'o.
Kayashwan.
Kayasma.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamat.
Bayandara.
Bayanda'ar.
Hayawa.
Hayaw.
Raman.
Daman.
Ladama.
Nadam.
Jatamba.
Shatam.
Nara.
Narab.
Ya.
Ya.
Mawa.
Mawa.
Kaira.
Kaira.
Wakaza'aba.
Masa'aba.
Wakazabat.
Kazabak.
Wakatazal.
Katazoa.
Manai.
Nai.
Call.
Kal.
Naziyakamo.
Nasikama.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amawa.
Amara.
Narasha.
Narash.
Lanawa.
Lanaw.
Ah. Nawa.
Nawa.
Lahayim.
Nahaya.
Lahaya.
Alahaya.
Jatamba.
Shatam.
Kagalka.
Kagok.
Kwash.
Kafas.
Lafanya.
Nafanya.
Rawaka.
Rawa'aka.
Kaash.
Ka'as.
Daibara.
Kabara.
Yara.
Yara.
Wakalahaba.
Wakabahala.
Dalahat.
Dalahat.
Arya.
Hari.
Khan.
Khan.
Dardapa.
Yardap.
Masiraka.
Maslata.
Ubasa.
Basa.
Pasta.
Hata.
Dabalaham.
Dalaham.
Mala'a.
Ala'am.
Manya.
Hanyam.
Balawan.
Kwalawan.
Wayabakashwa.
Wabakwasha.
Shukar.
Shankar.
Hawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabasha.
Wayaba Alwa.
Wawa'awa.
Idea.
Ai.
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 Wayakapawa.
Wakapara.
Wayabadu.
Waba.
Wayadawa.
Wadawa.
Kayata.
Kayatha.
Shukar.
Shukar.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Baka.
Yabaka.
Ayawan.
Awan.
Ah. Call.
Ka.
Kaharataza.
Arasa. In the English, keep not thy silence
Do not thy silence.
on Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy
Hold
peace.
not thy peace.
And be not still.
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo.
thy enemies make a
Thy
tumult.
enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
They that hate thee
have lifted up the
have
head.
lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken practical counsel
against thy people.
against thy people.
And consult against thy hidden
And
ones.
consulted against thy people.
They have
They
said,
have said,
Come,
Come,
let us cut them off from being a
let
nation,
us cut them off from being a nation.
that the name of
In the
Israel
name of Israel,
may be no more in
bring
remembrance.
no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one
They have
consent.
consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee,
are confederate against thee.
the tabernacles of Edom,
Tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab,
of Moab
and the
and
Hagarians,
Hagarians,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
Amalek,
the Philistines with the inhabitants of
the
Tyre,
Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre,
Ashur also is joined with them.
So also join with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Open the children of Lot.
Salah. Do unto them as unto the
Unto
Midianites,
them into the Midianites.
as to Sisera,
Sister.
as to Jabin,
Into Japan.
as to Brook Kisan,
Brooklyn son.
which perished at Endor.
Where to Endor.
They became as dung for the
They
earth.
became stone for the earth.
Make the nobles like Orib,
Make the nobles like a rib.
and like Zeid.
Like Zee.
Yea,
Yea.
all the princes as Zabah,
On the princess of Bob.
and as the moon,
And as the moon.
who said,
He said,
let us take to ourselves
let's take ourselves.
the houses of God in possession.
The house of God possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God.
make them like a wheel,
Make them like a wheel.
as it stubble before the wind,
So before the wind,
as a fire burneth the
as
wood,
fire burns the wood,
and as a flame set the mountains on
fire.
fire.
The same flames of the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
First keep them with thy tempest.
and make them afraid with thy
And
storm.
make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
To the faces of shame.
that they may seek thy name.
They may seek thy name,
O Lord,
O Lord.
let them be confounded and troubled
Till they be found in trouble.
forever.
Forever.
Yea,
Yea.
let them be put to shame and perish,
To be put to shame and perish.
that men may know that thou,
That men may know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
the most high of all the earth.
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things
and all
living.
things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh
in the
Shai,
name of Yahweh Shai.
listen to us now,
Listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Send evils and curses,
To evil curse,
and punishment and destruction
punishment, destruction,
to the heathen
to the heathen.
that speak against us,
Speak against us,
like prophets,
thy
the
prophets,
teachers,
teachers,
the princes,
princes,
the priests,
priests,
the Israelite brothers,
the Israelite brothers,
in the school.
in the school.
Send evils and
To
curses,
evil curse,
and punishment and destruction
punishment, destruction,
to the heathen,
to the heathen.
and shake loose
And shake
the
loose
treasure of the rich of
the
Israel
treasure of the rich of Israel.
that refuse to give to the
To
school.
refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches
What's their privilege?
to enter thy
To
sanctuary.
thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses,
Send evil curses,
and punishment and destruction
punishment, destruction.
to the Edomites,
To Edomites,
and the
and
nations,
the nation,
and the drug
and the
dealers,
drug
the
dealers,
court system,
court system,
the prison
prison
system,
system,
Planned
and
Parenthood,
parenthood.
all the governments of our
All the
enemies,
governments by enemies.
everlasting gods and armies,
Relations of God and army.
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Utah,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Exclaim,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
Skinheads,
Positive
Top,
the gay people,
Gay Movement,
the lesbian,
Lesbian,
spies,
Spies,
works of witchcraft,
Witchcraft,
NASA space program,
Space Program,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet
on the internet,
and the airways,
and the
the
airways,
cable access channel,
and the lectures,
and the radio
and
channel.
the radio channel.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
Bring the spirit of men and thy people.
that seek to stop us,
Seek to stop us.
and brings forth destruction
Bring to destruction
to all the heathen
to all the
that
people.
stand in the way
Stand in the way.
or try to stop
Try to
us
stop us.
from broadcasting your words
Broadcasting the word.
throughout the planet Earth.
Down the planet Earth.
Let loose all the
This
plagues,
is all play.
cause them to go to and fro
Cause them to go to and fro.
through the earth and
To
consume
the
them.
earth and consume.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief
Plague seek the house of the thief
and the murderer.
and the murder.
Let Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai,
Michael and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel,
come down to flying saucers
flying saucers,
and punish all the heathen
punish all the heathen
that come up against
that
us
come up against us.
as we speak thy
As
word.
we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all
So we know by all
that it is the angel that have done it.
the angels have done.
Cause it to be spread through the media
Because we spread through the media.
throughout the whole
Throughout the
world.
whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake it that come.
In the name of Yahweh Shai,
Name Yahweh Shai.
thank you
Thank
always.
you always.
So be it.
So be it. So, turn.
Towards the edge. Sorry. Yahweh Shai. Sorry.
Larry Shah. Yashabi, you see it?
You want to get some good shot from you. Okay. All right, for those that are watching, I want to say shalom, Lord Christ, to all the Akim, Wa Akwathium. We are going to get into Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. We are going to read the entire book in the Hebrew and get it in the English, all right? And then we are going to pull a few precepts to speak about the Feast of Tabernacles. We are going to give you a little bit today, but then when it comes time for the closing, we are going to give you a little bit more, all right? If you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and type it in the chat. Otherwise, stick around as we get into what is the whole purpose of the Feast of Tabernacles.
Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 1. Why the bar? Yahweh. Masha'ah. Lamar. Verse 2. Gabar. Banya. Yasharah. Marah. Alam. Mawagya. Yahweh. Ashah. The Quarwa. Adam. Koraya. Kadash. Allah. Mawagya. Verse 3. Shah. Yam. Shah. Malakah. Yawam. Shabyaya. Shabbat. Makwar. Kadash. Kal. Malakah. La. Tashar. Shabbat. Awa. Layahawa. Bakal. Al-Shab. Tayakam. Verse 4. Allah. Awagya. Ahawa. Aquaria. Wadash. Ashah. Quarwa. Adam. Moai. Down. Verse 5. Akadash.
Is she up there?
Shawan. Barab Ayah.
Everything rank in order.
Ashah.
Rank in order.
Lakadash.
In your feeding. Always rank in order.
Bayan. Arabi.
Children are last.
Kasat. Layahawa. Verse 6. Rabah. Masha'ah. Aishah. Awam. Lakadash. Azah. Ka. Amata Zawa. Layahawa. Shabbat. Yam. Mata Zawa. Takal Lawa. Verse 7. By a woman. Arashah. Wa'am. Makwar. Kadash. Kahaya. Lakam. Kal. Malakat. Ibada. La. Shawa. Verse 8. Wakwad. Batham. Ashah. Layahawa. Shabbat. Yam. Bayawam. Ashab Yaya, Naquar, Radash, Call, Malakah, Bada, La, Dayashawa, Rosnan, Wayad, Baar, Yahweh, Al, Mashiach, Amar, verse T, Gabar, Al, Kanya, Banya, Yesharal, Wamar, Alam, Kaya, the Bawa, Al, Rataza, Ashar, Anya, Nathan, Lakam, Wakwataza, Zaratham, Quataza, Yahar, Wabatham, Imar, Rashiach, Quatazaya, Kam, Akawan, verse 11, Waniyak, Imar, Lapanya, Yahweh, Lorataza, Nakam, Mamak, Ra, Ashabath, Yanya, Panawa. Light on this.
Mhm.
Okay, I had to deal with the light on this.
Mhm.
Akawan, Akan, verse 12. Washayapam, Bayawam, Anyap Kam,
Shalom, verse.
Imar, Kabash, Amayam, Ban, Shanatawa, La Yahawa, verse 13.
After you guys get done serving, you guys come back downstairs. And just let her know too.
Kawan,
Let her know too.
Tawa, Shanya, Ashar, Nayam, Salah, Balawa, La, Bashaman, Ashar, La Yahawa, Rayak, Nayak, Ka, Anas, Ka, Yayan, Labiyai, Ahayan, verse 14. Walakam, Makwalia, Wakar, Maal, La, the Kalawa, Tazam, Yawam, Azaz, Abiyakam, Korab, Ban, Allah Yakam,
That's fine. That's
the Kwa,
In the meantime, I'll change that.
Iwalam,
You gotta take the pictures.
Ladar, the Yakam,
Yeah.
the Ka, Mashab, the Yakam,
You see?
verse 15.
Damn, what? Hey, that's
What's
just
the car?
Damn,
Damn, Lakam,
damn, what's on that place? The what?
Makara, Hashabah,
We lit.
Mayawam, Abiyakam, Imar, Adan Wapa, Shabbat, Shabbatwa. Danyama. Yana. Verse 16. I. Moakara. Shabbat.
Which verse you at?
16.
Okay. Yeah, you were fast. Come on.
Shabbat. That's a car wash. Kamashim. Yawam. Aquar Badam. Wanaka. Kadasha. Layahawa. Verse 17. I'm gonna wash, but they come. Yawa. Lakam. Lanau Pa. Shadayam. Shania. Ashar Nayam. Salah. Thaye Nyana. Kamat Tazah. Tapayan Yana. Bakawar Yam. Layahawa. Verse 18. Wakwar Badam. Al. Halakam. Shabbat. Kabashim. Amayam Mam. Banya. Shana. Wakar. Ban. Aquar. Akad. Mayalam. Shanyam. Yahayawa. Ayla. Layahawa. Wamanak. Saam. Satyam. Asha. Rayak. Ayakak. Layahawa. Verse 19. Ashayatham. Shayayah. Isayam. Adad. Lakah. Lakath. Saah. Washanya. Kabashim. Banya. Shana. Rozabak. Shalamium. Verse 20. Wanya. Akan. Adam. Al. Lakam. Abakarayim. Now Wapa. Lapanya. Yahweh. Al. Shania. Kabashim. Kadash. Yahayawa. Layahawa. Lakaan. Verse 21. Wakortha. Baitazam. Ayawam. Azad. Ko Makora. Kadash. Yahaya. Lakam. Kal. Malakath. Ibadia. La. Shawa. Kukwa. Iwalam. Bakal. Bawashab. Shabbat. Yakam. Ladar. Dayakam. verse 22. Wabaquat Tazar, come. Ah, Quatazayar, Zakam, La, Zakar, Ba, Shadak, Baquatazar, Ak, Lalaquas, Quatazarak, La, Lalaquas, Laanya, Lalagar, Yaratazar, Adam, Anya, Yahweh, Allah Yakam, verse 23. Bar, Yahweh, Al, Mashiach, Lamar, verse 24. Gabar, Al, Banya, Yasharal, Lamar,
You want this, right? No, that's yours. It's yours.
Bakadash, Ashabaya, Bakar,
If you want to take a break to sip water,
Bakadash, Yahaya, Lakam, Shabbat Waan, Zakar Waan, Tarawai, Makwar, Kadash, 25. Kal, Malakagath, Ibadah, La, Shower, Kwa, Baka, Asha, La Yahweh, verse 26.
Damn, you ain't playing. Good man.
Wayat the bar, Yahweh, Al, Mashiach, La Amar, verse 27. Hak, by Shahar, Lakadash, Ashak Ya, Azab, Yawam, Akar Yam, Awa, Makwar, Kadash, Yahaya, Lakam, one Yatam, Ath, Napash, Dayakam, Wa Korab, Dam, Asha, La Yahweh, verse 28. Wakal, Malaka'ah, La'ah, Dashawa, Ba'ai Kazam, Hayawam, Azah, Kaya, Yahwam, Kaparium, Hawa'ah, Lakapar, Aliyat Yakam, Lapanya, Yahweh, Ali Yakam, verse 29. Kaya, Kal, Anapash, Bashar, La, Diana, Bai Tazam, Hayawam, Azah, Wanakaraka, Maanya, verse 30. Wakal, Anapash, Ashar, Daisha, Lak, Malakah, Baitazam, Ayawam, Azah, Wabadapya, Ah, Anapash, Hahawa, Makoram, Ima, verse 31. Call, Malakah, Ra, Daishawa, Kakwa, Iwalam, Ladar, Thayakam, Bakal, Mashab, Shabbat, Yakam, verse 32. Shabbat, Shabbatman, Awa, Yakam, one Yakam, Napashta Yakam, Atashai, Lakadash, Bairab, Myra, Irab, that's a Bakwa, Shabbat Kam, verse 33. Wayat Dabar, Yahweh, Masha'ah, Lamar, verse 34. Dabar, Banya, Yasharal, Lamar, Bakam Sha'ah, Ashar, Yawam, Lakadash, Ashab, Yaya, Azah, Kag, Asak, Wa'af, Shabbat, Yamayam, Layahawa, verse 35. Bayawam, Aram, Shawan, Makwar, Kadash, Kal, Malakath, Abadah, La'ah, Thaishawa, verse 36. Shabbat, Yamayam, the Kori Bawa, Nasha, Layahawa, Bayawam, Manya, Makwar, Kadash, Haya, Lakam, Wakawar Da'am, Asha'ah, Layahawa, Zarath, Iwa, Gal, Malakah, Ibadah, La, Daishawa, verse 37. La, Mawadia, Yahweh, Ashar, the Kowawa, Adam, Aquaria, Kadash, Laquar Yab, Ashah, La Yahweh, Ilah, Wanat, Zabak, Wanas Kayam, Dabar, Yawayam, Bayawa, Mawa, verse 38. Malabad, Shabbat, Yahweh, Wamalabad, Mathanawa, Thayakam, Wamalabad, Kal, Nadaryakum, Wamal, Badbad, Kal, Nadabath Yakam, Ashar, Tathanawa, Layahawa, verse 39. Masha, Aishar, Yawam, Lagadash, Ashabiah, Basapakam, Tabawak, Rataza, the Kagwa, Kag, Yahweh, Shabbat, Yam. Waya Arash Shawan. Shabbat one. Waba Yawam. Asham Yanya. Shabbat one. Verse 40. Wala Kagapa. Lakam. Bawam. Arash one. Paria. Itaza. Idar. Kapak. Tamari. Waniya. Itaza. Ibak. Wabaya. Nakal. Washam. Kadam. Lapanya. Yahweh. Yakam. Shabbat. Yam. Verse 41. Wakad Da'am. Adawa. Kag. Layahawa. Shabbat. Yam. Shabana. Bashana. Kakwa. Iwalam. Adar Dayakam. Bagadash. Ashabya. Yaya. The Kagwa. Adawa. Verse 32. Basaka. Ashabawa. Shabbat. Yam. Kal. Azarak. Bayashara. Yashabawa. Basaka. Verse 43. Lamayan. Yadawa. Barak Yakam. Kaya. Basakwa. Awashab Daya. Banya. Yasharal. Bawak Tazai Yaya. Lawata. Marataza. Matazari. Anya. Yahweh. Alayakam. Verse 44. Waya the bar. Masha'ah. Maida. Yahweh. Banya. Asheral.
That's it.
Listen.
Son in Christ. And that was perfect. Beautiful. All right, so second priest officer Tarat 5,000, finished 44 verses in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. And we also got to read into the actual English as well. So whenever you get a chance. So it's a custom and tradition. Every time there is a high holy day, a holy convocation, us doing a service, you have to read the entire Leviticus 23rd chapter. There's a purpose, there's a reason for it. Okay? And you can move the prayer and stuff out of your way, go a bit further up, stuff like that. Yeah, you got it. All right. So there's a purpose why we read into it every time, because this is what we've done in the past. Everything that you see us do today, we are doing from the past when Moses, Yahweh, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Obadiah, Daniel, Peter, all the 12 disciples, when they were on the scene. We are doing the same thing very much today. We are keeping the custom, the tradition. We are not changing it up whatsoever. All right? So We go ahead and get to it.
Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 1.
Now, of course, we can talk about something else. Down to verse 33. All right.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts. Verse 3. 6 days shall the work be done, but the seventh day is a Sabbath of rest, a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile, ye shall do no work therein.
Now, Salak, if I may, just to let you know, it's speaking about the high holy days and the holy convocations, and it's kind of getting into detail, or it's like it is getting into detail of what that is. Also, too, we live in a time where if you were slaving, you cannot slave on the day of the high holy days or holy convocations, but you got to understand today we are in hell. Now, for example, if you had a business within this captivity and this hell called America, you should not work. It's highly recommended that you get off of work for this day because this concerns the Most High. It's very much needed. It's very, it's very spiritual when you serve this day for the Most High. Let's say that's not able to make it to the Holy Convocation or the High Holy Day. Contribute in some way towards it. And Most High will look at that and see that you made an effort. Okay, that effort matters. All right, we keep going.
6 days shall thy work be done, but the seventh day is a Sabbath of rest, a holy convocation. You shall do no work therein.
Right, Sabbath service, that's the day of rest, man. It's for you. You can turn on all the lights. You can use the stove. You can, do whatever you please to do lawfully. There's a lot of people out there that tell you that you can't do nothing. You got to eat cold sandwiches. You got to keep the lights off, the stove off, all the electric things. You can't enjoy yourself. You can't turn on the TV. You can't watch a movie. You can't give into, you can't have intercourse. All these weird things that are not in the Bible, they tell you that you cannot do. Well, in the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, we are telling you the truth. The Sabbath service, Sabbath day is for you. All right? That's what Yahweh said, right? Okay, that day is for you. It's not you meant for that day. That day is meant for you. You can do whatever you desire to do as long as it's lawful. Okay? As long as it's lawful, you can do whatever you desire because that is your rest day from all the work that you have been doing from the previous days throughout that week. Everybody needs a goddamn break sometimes. I would think so. All right, keep going.
Ye shall do no work therein. It is a Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwelling. Verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. Verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month, at even is the Lord's Passover. Verse 6. And on the 15th day of the same month is a feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread. Verse 7. In the first day ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. Verse 8. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, even 7 days. In the seventh day is the holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. Verse 9. And the Lord spake unto me, saying, verse 10, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. Verse 11, and he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord.
And that's talking about the feast of first fruits. Keep going.
To be accepted for you. On the morrow, after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. Verse 12, and ye shall offer that day when ye wave the sheaf and he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto the Lord. Verse 13, And the meat offering thereof shall be 2 tenth deals of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto the Lord for a sweet savor. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the fourth part of an hin. Verse 14. And ye shall eat neither bread nor parched corn, nor green ears until the selfsame day that ye have brought an offering unto your God. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Verse 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Verse 16, even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Lord. Verse 17, ye shall bring out of your habitations 2 wave loaves of 2 tenth deals, and it shall be of fine flour. They shall be baked with leaven. They are the first fruits unto the Lord. Verse 18. And ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock and 2 rams, and they shall be for a burnt offering unto the Lord with their meat offering and their drink offering, even an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto the Lord. Verse 19. Then ye shall sacrifice one of the kids of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings. Verse 20. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before the Lord. With the 2 lambs, they shall be holy unto the Lord for the priest. Verse 21. And ye shall proclaim on the selfsame day that it may be an holy convocation unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. Verse 22. And when you reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field when thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of the harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am the Lord your God. Verse 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 24, speaking to the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, a holy convocation. Verse 25. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Right.
Verse 26. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 27, also on the 10th day of the 7th month there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. Verse 28. And ye shall do no you shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God. Verse 29. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off among his people, from among his people. Verse 30. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, that same soul will I destroy from among his people. Verse 31. Ye shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Verse 32. It shall be unto you for a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at evening, from evening to evening shall ye celebrate your Sabbath. Verse 33. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 34, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of the 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles.
Right.
7 days unto the Lord.
Right. So, of course, right now we are in the Feast of Tabernacles. All right. Now, as you may know, how we calculate our feasts or high holy days, holy convocations is based on the moon. Okay. All right. We do it now. Don't get the wrong idea as far as astrology and things of that sort. We also used to be able to tell time, which we still are able to tell time right now based on the sun.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Back then you had a sundial.
You had a sundial, yeah.
Before there was clocks, there was sundials. And you could tell what time of day it is by the sundial. What was the light that was on the sundial?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Yeah, a sundial is like a kind of like an old fashioned little watch.
Actually, it's a big thing. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
that's sundial. Okay, because
Right.
I know they had like an old fashioned watch where it wasn't like electric. It wasn't like the watches that we
Yeah,
have
it's like
today.
a clock.
It's like
It
a
was
clock,
a big
yeah.
clock, and it had a little thing. And it
Yeah,
moved.
yep,
You know
and it
what I'm
moves. Yep, and then based on the sun, the shadow of it
Right.
will tell you
right,
the time. Yeah. So
Right.
yep. So imagine that. Like, I mean, that was firsthand technology.
Right. And also, the sundial will make you more accurate. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yep.
But you can still tell the time of the day by the way that the sun is positioned in the sky.
That as well,
You know
and
what I'm saying?
also too, based on where you're standing by the where the sun is shining and where you're standing and where your shadow is at, it can also tell time
Right.
because
Exactly.
your shadow can actually look like a clock.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just you're right here, the shadow's right there. See what I'm saying? So yeah. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
and that was very creative too, by the way.
Right. Yeah. It
Yeah.
was,
Yeah, it really was. Now we have digital clocks. We have electronic watches and things of
Right.
that sort. But yeah,
Right.
back then that's how we told time,
Right.
and that's how you get all the feasts. Because a lot of people always ask, like, how do you know that this is the right time, the right date? Because even fake Israelites ask the same question too. Now also too, we match it up with the scriptures as well. Now a lot of people in fake Israelite groups, I don't know what they be doing, but they do not be matching up correctly. I know a brother in Minnesota who used to be with a fake Israelite group, and he said that he used to do his own, like measurements of time of when this feast day would be that, which day, the Day of Atonement would be that day, like the Passover, and he found that the UPK was the most accurate, that they had it correctly versus everybody else. Because some people be having Passovers a few months before we actually have our actual Passover date.
Right. Yeah. They have it usually a month before.
A month before or two, something like that. Now, once again, you got to ask yourself, who's right, who's wrong? Well, of course, we have been taught properly. We know based on the scriptures how to calculate the moon, how to calculate, the feast days and high holy days and things of that sort. All right. I really just don't understand how people get the wrong date.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no. I mean, that's something I don't know. All right, but I just know for certain that every time that we have it, the Lord always seems to be with us. So it got to be right, right?
Right.
Meanwhile, you got fake Israelites who's out there, having a Passover at a strip club with transsexuals and whores and good night. Like a Passover at a strip club, good night.
Right. You know your time's gonna be off in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All the weed, all the drugs, and
Right.
all unlawful everything. Like good night. Your
Right.
Passover at the goddamn strip club. Good
Right.
night. And you got all these whores at your table, at your VIP,
Right.
dancing on you. Got all the period blood on your pants. See what I'm saying? Kissing
Right.
on you with all the rods they done sucked.
Right.
Good night.
The crabs and the
Yeah, all the crabs crawling on you.
Right.
See what I'm saying? All the HIV, AIDS waiting to catch you. Like that is crazy, man. But
Did you
Go ahead.
ever see that clip where it was a girl getting a lap dance from another girl? The girl threw her legs around it.
oh yeah, I did.
man.
I almost threw up. Yeah,
Oh my goodness! Just imagine
Yeah.
how the girl that had that happen to her.
man.
Boy, she's
The Lord was not with her.
oh, no doubt.
Oh yeah. The Lord was not with her at all.
And the girl that did it, she had to snatch her clothes and leave. That was way
Embarrassing. Yeah, that's
to,
embarrassing.
you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
right. Yeah, you're right about that.
She probably never went back to that particular club. She probably went out of town some damn where.
Oh yeah, I'm very sure about that. Oh yeah.
You made sure she didn't drink so much water or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I hear that.
She was overly hydrated or something.
Right. God, right. It's Shalom no Christ.
Shalom no Christ.
Right. So yeah, let's keep going. Shalom no Christ.
On the first day shall be an holy convocation, you shall do no servile work therein. Verse 36. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
And that's just talking about the Feast of Tabernacles, and we are going to get into what tabernacle actually means as well. Keep going.
Is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 37. These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering, and a meat offering, a sacrifice, and drink offering, everything upon his day.
Right. Stop right there real quick. Everything that the brother just said is very important to understand what the Feast of Tabernacles is really about. Also, too, he said, the Most High said that this is what he proclaims. What does it mean to proclaim something? Anybody? When you proclaim something, what does that mean? Go ahead. Okay. Yes. Yep. Yep. So for example, we are in the month of September. A lot of people are like I talked about this during camp. A lot of people always say that the Bible is a white man's book, but they believe that they're Africans. Who told you that? Who told you that you are black? You so-called black and Hispanic. You are related to the Africans. Who told you that? The oppressor did. But meanwhile, you don't believe that this book is your book, but you believe it's a white man's book. Well, the thing is, there's no white people in here. So how can it be their book? The fact, because they always think about the Christianity, but they don't know that they're still going under Christianity. They're still living that lifestyle. I mean, there's a lot of Christians that don't know that they're Christians.
Right.
You understand that? Like, a lot of people don't know that they're Christians. If you are not an IHBK, you are a Christian. You can talk all bad about it all you want, but if you're not in the UPK, you're living just like them. And this book is this is not a white book. This book is very niggerish. It's very, Latino-ish. Is that a word? Goddamn, I don't know. it's black, right. Blackish, Mexicanish, Native American-ish, whatever. This is our records. This is our book because this deals with us. All right. Now the thing is, when we think about October, November, December, we have these holidays. We have Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all these holidays that the Most High never proclaimed. And these days were not around forever. These days came around some years ago. And now, when I say some years ago, I mean like thousands of a few thousand years ago. All right, they just changed the name and kind of changed up the rules and the customs. But otherwise, in the Bible, you can't find Christmas. The only thing you can find about Christmas in the Bible is that's unlawful. And that's Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, 1-5. In the Babylonian time with Nimrod. That's what you can find. You can't find Thanksgiving, but you will find hints about how the oppressor was going to oppress and kill, try to kill off the Native Americans. And Thanksgiving is a slap in the face for us as a people. And once again, if you are an Israelite, because there are a lot of Black and Hispanic people who say, well, that has nothing to do with me. Or, I didn't get killed off, or I didn't get killed. My family is fine. And we do it for the family, for the kids. You are a traitor. You are a coward if you celebrate these holidays. You are very disgusting. And you hate your people. Because that's what it shows.
Right.
Go ahead, you want to say something?
On top of that, a lot of blacks aren't even blacks to begin with. They end up being Gad and just don't know it.
Yeah, that's very true, yeah.
So it still is your people more than likely. You just don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it, though, even with Gad, Gad is black. That's how you get the Blackfoot Indian,
Yeah.
The foot wasn't the only thing that was black on them. Everything else was black.
Yeah, that's very true.
And, back when Gad was obviously still black, nobody wanted to be an Indian. They wouldn't even call them, they called Indians.
And yeah,
They was an object for somebody to kill them.
yeah.
Just the other tribes hated the Gadites, Gad hated the other tribes, it was all like that. But during the time of them slave revolts, came down and everything, Gad and Judah teamed up and ran devils clean out of certain cities.
Oh yeah.
And killed the hell out of them.
Oh yeah.
Ran them off for like 40 years.
Oh yeah.
It's like you see in Judges when they say the land had rest for 40 years.
Yeah, I remember that.
We had cities where we did that to them, and ran them the hell off, and we had peace for 40 years, just like the scriptures always talk about.
Yeah.
Same thing happened in Mexico. You had the black Issacharite, Gaspar Yanga, that led the slave revolts down there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
They still got his statue down there today, holding up a machete with chains on it.
Yeah.
And he delivered, the Issacharite cities for 40 years.
Right.
Same thing.
Right. And so and I'm like the whole purpose of speaking about that is because the Most High proclaimed the Feast of Tabernacles to be something that we celebrate as Israelites. When we talk about birthdays or the American holidays, that has nothing to do with us whatsoever. Like that's an example of being in white people's business, because that's their business, that's their culture, that's their custom and traditions. As far as us, we only have 8 high holy days. Some are high holy days, some are holy convocations, but in total, it's going to be 8. Go ahead.
Isn't celebrating birthday, technically that's like in the, I'm not saying the Satanist book, like their biggest holidays, because they don't serve a God, they feel that they're their own God.
So
their biggest
it's
holiday.
so okay, you kind of right on that. It's idol worship, because you are the God.
Mhm.
You are the idol. Everybody gives you gifts. Like, for example, you think about Christmas. Kodash always says this. Why on Christmas, why does the tree get the gifts first before we get it? Because we do get gifts, right? On Christmas, right? But why does the tree get it first and we don't get it? You got to think about the story of Nimrod. There's a book called The Two Babylons. Two Babylons is going to get in more detail about the story of Nimrod and where Christmas had came about. What's this mother/wife name? Semiramis?
Right.
And it's actually named after the pop Sierra Mist.
Mhm.
Her name is Sierra Mist.
Right.
And it's kind of crazy, yeah, because they named
Semiramis.
Semiramis.
It's probably still another pronunciation of it.
Yeah.
Be a little slick with it.
Yeah, I remember one of the brothers in the school had mentioned that the pop Sierra Mist. Is it Sierra Mist? That pop is actually named. It comes from Babylonian times, from Nimrod's wife/mother, because Nimrod had sex with his mother, and since he had sex with his mother, that's his wife as well. Very, very disgusting. And they were Hamites, by the way, Africans. So it makes sense.
Yeah, but that stuff is it's custom in rich and powerful families.
Oh yeah.
Alexander having sex with his mother too.
Yeah, although he was not a Ham. I'm sorry. He was gay. He was gay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, my bad. Yeah.
Gay don't just strictly mean they need a man.
Right.
And gay dudes hit women too.
That's very true. You're damn right. Yeah.
Any kind of sex that's wrong, that they know is super wrong. Like
unlawful sex.
Right.
Yeah, bestiality, incest. Same sex. What I mean? When I say sex, I'm talking about the gender. The same gender having sex with the same gender. You know what I mean? Man to man, woman to woman. All that's unlawful sex.
Right.
You feel me? Which is wrong. You know what I mean? So yeah, and plus, if they got to stick strong with each other, a gay person wouldn't give a damn. Right. They'll just do it, and that's very disgusting. In our culture, we don't do that. Right. And that's why I always say that's that white people shit.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that's that African shit. Excuse my language. You know what I mean? So yeah, go ahead.
A lot of them rich and powerful families do that to make sure that all the bloodline and everything is tight and the same evil agenda.
So-called pure and all that.
The
Yeah.
evil agenda goes forth, instead of, taking the genes with something else. Because they understand they have a genetic predisposition for global evil.
Right. Yeah. So the fact of the matter is that the Most High proclaimed all the things that is in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter.
Right.
All the things that we should celebrate and worship in a sense, and this all goes back to the Most High, because every time that we come together on this day, we have to think about it. The root of this is for the Most High. You see what I'm saying? It's for the Most High. Now, of course, we have our time with each other, but we are doing this for the purpose of the Most High, nothing else. Now, if you think about Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, and birthdays, all that stuff has bad ties to it. You know what I mean? Have you ever seen somebody get their ass beat on their birthday? Very embarrassing.
Yes,
I have.
Right.
Good.
They killed on their birthday.
Yes, actually last year, I want to say in Minnesota, somewhere else. Last year, I read an article, someone had got killed on their birthday, and their birthday was close to a holiday. I was like, the Most High ain't with you. And then I always ask people too, like, I be asking people in the world, like, what happens during you guys' holidays? Like, do it be good times or bad times? 9 times out of 10, they always say something bad always happens. On a feast day, does anything bad happen? No. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, I've thought about it many times. I've thought about it. Nothing bad ever happened,
No.
In our feast days. The spirit is totally different.
It is, yeah. Now, let's say there might be a lack of people. See what I'm saying? A lot of people may not come, but is anybody in danger? See what I'm saying? Are we, let's say if there is an argument, it gets worked out, don't it?
Right.
Ain't anybody dead at the end of the day, right?
Right.
Anybody get stabbed? Nothing, right?
Right.
See what I'm saying? Now we are people, so we might bump heads, but we work that shit out, because that's what we do in EPK, and that's what Christ taught us to do as well. But ain't nobody dead, ain't nothing out of order, unlawful, because once again we had mentioned before you came in here that the I forget, was it Sakari? I want to say it's Sakari. It was some fake Israelite group that went to the strip club for their Passover a month before our Passover in April of this year. Very shameful and just unlawful. See what I'm saying? A strip club, good night. You made something, you turned something holy to unholy. Go ahead.
Didn't the group have strippers like at their Passover?
Yeah. No, they actually went, they celebrated their Passover at a strip club. Good night. Like that's shameful. See what I'm saying? You talk about how it's shameful to have whores and things of that sort, but you are at a place where there's nothing but whores, nothing but broken women who's been molested, who's been raped. They're vulnerable. Just all these things, man. And then you got them dancing on you. That's shameful, man. And this is supposed to be of the Lord, but you made it to something else. That is very disgusting, very vile. All right. And once again, that's why we always say in EPK, we are not at all in any way associated with anybody else. We only deal with each other in EPK. We are all over the globe. We only deal with each other. We do not deal with anybody else for that reason. We don't affiliate ourselves with those type of people. Then you got people in fake Israelite groups who's killing their members. Has anybody ever killed a member in this school?
Right.
Not at all. Now you may pass away, through illness or old age, but anybody killing each other, like, good night. And also too, we don't let heathens into our organization. And that's a big thing too.
Right.
We deal with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's it. All right. You want to say something, or you want to keep going?
Yes.
All right, you got it.
38. Beside the Sabbaths of the Lord, and beside your gifts, and besides all your vows, and beside all your free will offerings, which ye give unto the Lord. Verse 39. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruits of the land, Ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
Right, which is the Feast of Tabernacles today. So the first day we are doing the Sabbath, which is, we have been doing this today. And then next Tuesday, which is the 28th, which is the last day, that's when we also do a Sabbath as well.
Right.
All right. Go ahead.
Verse 40.
So this is the opening. Next week on Tuesday will be the closing of the Feast of Tabernacles.
Right.
You got it, Salaki.
Verse 40. And ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of the goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of fig trees, and willows of the brook. And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 41. And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Verse 42. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelite born shall dwell in booths. Verse 43. And that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Verse 44. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Lord.
That's up.
That's it.
So now we are going to pull a few precepts. You can get Nehemiah 8 and 14. All right. So just to break down, just real quick, what the Feast of Tabernacles is, does anybody have an idea what it might be? So the word tabernacle, if you don't know what the word tabernacle means, you can look it up on your phone. It's an old biblical word for something that we see and use today. If tabernacle is going to be Tabernacles, tabernacle, or tabernacles. You got it. All right, go ahead.
In biblical use of fixed or movable habitation, typically of light construction. So like a tent.
A tent, a booth, or a house. See what I'm saying? Or what, a temple? Yeah, a temple. No, not a
No, it
temple.
wouldn't be a temple. That would be a permanent structure.
Yeah, that'll be permanent structure. So it'll be a place of dwelling.
Yeah, temporary dwelling.
Yeah, inhabitant.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
so a place. Yeah, a temporary place of dwelling. So like a house, a booth, a tent. So for example, like what you see today that's very spiritual is the Native Americans. We have something that's called in Minnesota called Tent City, because you have a lot of Native Americans who stay in tents. Wherever they go, they have somewhere to stay because they got a tent. And they set up shop. You know what I mean? So yeah. So that's basically what a tabernacle is. And the whole story behind that, the history, actually, I'll leave the history up to Terrell. He knows the history behind the Feast of Tabernacle. All right, if you want to get to it before, you read Nehemiah, I'll let you get to it.
Yeah, the Feast of Tabernacles, also keeps us in mind of, our position in the earth. Whenever we're in another land, we are strangers in that land.
Right.
And we kept the Feast of Tabernacles, even in our land also, because we're strangers on the earth. The Most High don't want us to get too settled. You know what I'm saying? Now, we had houses in our land, but at the time of Feast of Tabernacle, we remember the Most High bringing us when we were strangers in all of these lands.
Mm-hmm.
It's in remembrance, and we teach our children the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're rich, you got this big old huge palace, you know what I'm saying? You in Jerusalem, you put them kids and everything in tents so that they will know, or temporary dwelling places, so they'll know, that we are strangers in the earth, and wherever we go outside Jerusalem is not home.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever we've been before getting into Jerusalem was not home. It's like when the Most High gave this law to us, we was in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we outside our own land, we in the wilderness there.
Right.
Yeah. The wilderness has to do with a place of no certainty. There's no certainty here in America. We don't know what the hell. You own a house here, you can lose that damn thing tomorrow. The bank owns.
Yeah, it's called foreclosure.
Right, foreclosure.
Right.
Exactly. the banking up on it.
Right. So you had a question?
I found a Hebrew definition that breaks it down a little better.
Okay, listen.
It says tabernacle, in Jewish history, a portable sanctuary constructed by Moses is a place of worship for the Hebrew tribes during the period of wandering that preceded their arrival in the promised land.
Yeah, that's somewhere in Exodus.
It is in place.
Yeah. That is actually somewhere in Exodus. So yeah, and that's why I want to leave not the Hebrews like I want to leave the history up to him because I mean he knows a lot about that. I mean I do as well, but he got it though. You got a scholar right here. It's a lot.
Yeah, with they breakdowns of it, their breakdown is not really going to be, some things will be right, but then they missing the whole spirit behind it.
It's not going to be accurate.
Right. They missing the real reason.
Right.
Because think about it, if the Most High had us to do it with bowls and the plants and all of that, like he said, once they are rooted, what happens to them? They dead in a few days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the temporary dwelling. You pull a big leaf out of the ground. A few days later, it's crusty and crunchy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Temporary structures. Temporary. Places. It also let us know that we are strangers in whatever land it is that we have.
Right. Like for example, I mean, like a lot of people try to move back to Israel or Jerusalem, Israel, right? You got to understand that's not your home of habitation anymore.
Right.
That's not your place to stay. You are what is called so they call it Esau and Genesis a vagabond.
Right. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? You know what a vagabond is, right? A vagabond. I mean, it's an old word, but vagabond is someone that constantly travels to place.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. You got it.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of people call homeless people vagabonds because they constantly moving place to place, to couch, trying to find a home, in a sense. And Esau is considered to be a vagabond because he's a stranger and he always tries to find his home wherever he goes. Right. For example, really niggas was here first, right? But Esau took it over and made it his own home and kicked us out.
Right.
And then when we come back, he tries to, supply, provide places for us to stay. Like, for example, he gave the Native Americans land that cannot be tilled. The word, to till the land means to work the land, the soil, to grow food, crops, and things of that sort. He gave them a dead city, a dead place to try to harvest any food.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So he tricked us. He did, he didn't keep no trees whatsoever, but he told us that, look, you can live right here. Although we should be the ones operating and constructing this entire earth and this entire America, North America. But somehow, he calls all the shots. Right. And he gives us this place and he tells us that we got to live here. It's just like today. He tells you where you got to live in these apartments, this house, what you got to pay, what time, what dates, and things of that sort. You know what I mean? It should not be like that. Right. He's the real vagabond, but now we are the vagabonds. Right. We are finding place to place. Every time that there's Native Americans setting up shop with the tents, they have to move every few months, it seems like. I just saw Tent City over South Minneapolis. Now, the spot that they were at, they were there 2 years ago, about 2-3 years ago. Well, I would say about 3 years ago, right? But just recently, they was not there. I just saw them in a different area in South Minneapolis. And then me Kanagabar just saw them over there by the highway in St. Paul last year. Right. So now they're not there anymore by the shelter place. So I believe these are the same people. They are over South Minneapolis again. You see what I'm saying? Within the Twin Cities. You know what I mean? So yeah, You know, like we are now the vagabonds. We have to find a place to lay our head and rest every single day. But also too, like, I mean, the Feast of Tabernacles is something to humble you. Because I believe that's where you was going.
Right.
You got it. You finish it up.
Right.
No, I mean, if you still want to say more about it, you got it.
Okay, I was going to get the Nehemiah.
Yeah, you got it. Nehemiah 8 and 14.
8 and 14.
Mhm. Yeah, I really didn't get the whole spirit of Feast of Tabernacles until I started to do my studying about it. Because it does make sense. Just like any other high holy day or holy convocation.
Nehemiah chapter 8 and verse 14. And they found written in the law which the Lord had commanded by Moses that the children of Israel should dwell in booths in the feast of the 7th month.
Now, I'll let you break this down because you talked about this at camp and Sabbath service. As far as the word booth.
Right, yeah. Booth is another word for tent, you know. And, you know, just like tabernacle is also another word for tent. You know, they all are the same thing.
Right.
You know, booths, you know, a booth has even a more temporary sound to it, you know. It's just like when you go to some type of convention, you know, you set up a booth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're selling, you know, your oils or selling food or whatever, you set up a booth.
Mm-hmm.
With the thought of taking that booth down so the sun go down, pack it up and move it on, you know. It's pretty much the same concept, you know what I'm saying? You know, and that, like I said, that word booth just lets you know how temporary this is, you know. Wherever we go is temporary, and we should have a temporary mindset. That's why the tribe of Gad, you know, came over here and set up tents. You know, they didn't come over here with all the resources and just start building houses. They had plenty of resources to do so. But see, they understood the prophecy of us going back to Israel. They understood this prophecy right here about the children of Israel dwelling in booths.
Right.
They understood that, you know what I'm saying? They lost a lot of their history, but they held on to a lot of it also. And even the language. That's the reason why they were, you know, moving with all the riches and all of that. Like I said, they had plenty of means to build houses. They could have built all types of structures, but they stayed in the tents because they didn't know how long they were actually going to be here before the Most High gathers them up and moves them back to the land. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know. They didn't know whether it was going to be 40 days, 40 years. They just didn't know. So they stayed, as far as with their dwelling, in a temporary mindset. Go ahead.
So they stay ready, saying have to get ready, essentially.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. There's a reason why they were like that. Like, they know they was going to be here, abundant, oppression for, abundant Esau for, 400 something years, like in ancient Egypt. But they took on a whole lot of them culture, the customs from ancient Egypt. That's why in South America you see pyramids. You know, they were the people that built the first pyramid.
Right.
But they came back here on same stuff, and a lot of times they was doing human sacrifices and all kind of stuff like that. Took on a whole lot of them customs mingled with their own. You know what I'm saying? The same stuff that we was doing in ancient Egypt. Back then, same thing. Taking our Hebrew customs, because back then we still knew we was Hebrew.
Right. Yeah.
In ancient Egypt, one thing about ancient Egypt, we never lost our identity there. You know what I'm saying? We just took on the customs of, the strange nation, which was the Egyptians and other, strange nations and all of that. We took that stuff on. But when they came here, they started erecting pyramids and, took all that pagan stuff. I mean, hell, you even had the Gadites who was dressing like some of them Africans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know how you see like them what was it, people, the doggone tribe or whatever, it was Shaka Zulu. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You see Shaka Zulu. Yeah. Remember how they had the bristle things on the bottom of and they would be like, their legs would be bare.
They little shorts or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Because a lot of the Gadites came, from Africa with us on the slave trade, in the slave trade. That's where they got that custom from.
Yeah,
We didn't rock like that in
right,
ancient times.
Yeah, because like they was trying to keep some of the customs, but like it was
It
just
was twisted
it
up.
was twisted in heathen way.
Right, because they'll have
with
the
the
wrist
fringes,
guards.
yeah,
With fringes on the
yeah,
wrist
oh,
guards,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? They have
Yeah.
fringe garments and everything, but then they had their Hamite type of clothes.
Yeah,
that
type
they
of clothes
wear,
on.
too.
Yeah.
You know,
They would what's called incorporated.
Right,
Right,
exactly.
yeah.
And mingle it up. Actually,
Right.
that's the definition of wicked. To take good and bad and twist it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you wicker furniture, you twisting it together. You know?
You had a question? I'm sorry.
Isn't one of the largest pyramids in South America?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They got
that
a lot of pyramids down in South America.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
now another thing too, a lot of people, a lot of Negroes, take pride in the pyramids for some reason, and that whole
Right.
Egyptian thing. It's like you were a slave building that.
Exactly.
You wasn't a employee.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah,
Right.
you was a slave, and also too, a lot of people talk about how glorious pyramids are. There's nothing but what was it, corpse in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing but dead bodies.
A mausoleum.
Yeah, it's like a pyramid's a goddamn cemetery.
Yeah.
There you go. In simple words, it's a cemetery.
Even though the treasures is robbed out of because of the, even all of that stuff, the treasure they had buried with them and all of that stuff's gone.
Of course it's gone. It's not buried with them.
Yeah.
Of course not.
It's gone.
You got to flip something. You got to make a lifestyle, huh? You got to make it somehow. And anybody can really bury somebody with the money.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Like, I think about that song that 2 Chainz had made about, he was like, when I die, bury me inside a jewelry store. It's a jewelry store or some shit like that. Yeah.
Right.
I think about the song that Drake made. Like, I like the song. It's called "Money in the Grave" with Rick Ross. I like that song, but ain't nobody finna bury your ass with real money.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody's gonna need that money, and someone's gonna rob your ass for it. Yeah.
Right.
As you dead.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, say it again.
It's only 6 feet away.
Right.
There you go. Yeah,
Right.
6 feet deep. Yeah. All right. Okay. So is that it on that?
Yeah. Now, unless you wanted to put another precept.
Yeah. Just this one last one. It's gonna be John 7:1. Now this one's 52 verses, but we only want to get a few. That's it. Yeah, we are a little crunch on time. All right. So just to recap real quick, as it's getting the precept's going to be John, verse. It's going to be chapter 7, verse 1. So tabernacles it can be considered as booth, a tent, a house, a dwelling.
Right.
All right. See what I'm saying? You are going to see the word tabernacle a lot throughout the Bible. Okay, it's going to be a dwelling place, wherever that place is at. Whether you're on someone's couch, whether you are in your own spot, whether you are in a tent or in a booth, which is the same thing.
Right.
All right. And the Holy Spirit is to remember where we came from. A lot of black people always say that too. Don't forget where you came from.
Right.
Or don't bite the hand that feeds you, right?
Right.
Don't forget where you came from. That's why we go into the scriptures every high holy day to remember where we came from.
Right.
Because if you think about it, the spirit that was back then is the spirit today. When we talk about our oppressor, all the Israelites, the oppression, the high holy days, just everything in general is the same thing. In a sense, it's like everything recycles itself.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Until it hits the end. When I say the end, I'm talking about when your house shot comes here and we don't have to deal with this no more. It's all going to be incorporated into our minds. We are going to be sealed with the law, statutes, and commandments. And actually, too, when the kingdom comes, I got to find a precept. But we don't have to do camp no more. Once Yahushua is ruling and he is on the scene and he has the 144,000 by his side, there's no more camp. Now, we're still going to celebrate, of course, like the high holidays and stuff like that. But you don't have to, you ain't got to worry about going on the street corners no more. You want to know why? Because everybody will be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Right. Now, even when they try to break the law, which is going to be a little tough and hard, Yahushua is going to be like, hey, you know what? this is about to happen. I need you to go visit that brother, that sister. So to stop it before it happens. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's a movie. It sounds like a movie, sounds like a TV show, but just, I mean, when it comes and we actually see it, whether it's in this body or new body, whatever. When we actually see that happen, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be like, damn. See what I'm saying? Damn, like, it's gonna be hard to sin. See what I'm saying? It's funny because it's hard. A lot of people say it's hard to keep the law, but it's not hard to be wicked. But I just find that stupid. See what I'm saying? Because even Paul himself said in Romans, the 6th chapter, that the laws are not grievous. When he says grievous, meaning it's not hard to keep. All that, I hate this word energy. All that, how about this? All that zeal that you put into being wicked, to do the wrong thing, it should be easy for you to do the right thing. Go ahead.
And I keep hearing the excuse now, well, we're living in Halo, so.
Yeah, so should we follow the hill? You know what I mean? Should like for example, General Katham had said at the Bantu Festival in Chicago a few years ago, the last fire weekend. I mean, so okay, we are dealing with the curses right now, but we are working and busting our ass to get to the blessings, which is the kingdom. The kingdom is the blessings, which is what Deuteronomy 27, Deuteronomy 28 is the curses. So we're looking forward towards the blessings, although we're going through the curses. So just because we're going through the curses doesn't mean to fall in line with the curses. Let's try to get out of that situation. Let's get to the blessings, not the curses. See what I'm saying? It's like pretty much like you comfortable with your environment. You should never be comfortable or complacent with this way of life. And this is how we die. We die because we get too comfortable and complacent. And when you get that way, that's where Satan comes at you. That's where he comes at you, and he conquers you in your mind. And you do the actions, and then now you screwed up. Now you all types of messed up. Okay? That makes sense, right? All right, you go ahead.
John chapter 7, verse 1. After these things, Jesus walked in Galilee, for he will not walk in Jewry, because the Jews sought to kill him. Verse 2. Now the Jews' feast of Tabernacles was at hand. Verse 3. His brethren before said unto him, Depart hence, and go into Judea, that thy disciples also may see the works that thou doest. Verse 4. For there is no man that doeth anything in secret, and he himself seeketh to be known openly. If thou do these things, show thyself to the world. Verse 5. For neither did his brethren believe in him. Verse 6. Then
if you want to stop and say something, you got it.
Okay. Right. It said neither did his brethren believe in him. Yeah, this is a serious problem, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
You see somebody out there, and that's one of the reasons why we're hated so badly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we always say, a lot of times the biggest obstacle will be our own.
Yeah. Very true.
Verse 6. Then Jesus said unto them, My time is not yet come, but your time is always ready. Verse 7.
Say that one more time. Damn, you heard that?
Right.
Yeah, you mind saying it again?
Yeah. Then Jesus said unto them, My time is not yet come, but your time is always ready.
What does that mean?
You want to give practice?
Always be ready for whenever you come. He didn't necessarily announce it, but you need to be ready when you do decide to come.
Well, he was saying here, he said, My time is not yet come. Which would be the time that he would be, slain for the sacrifices, for the sacrifice of sin and everything.
Talking about the day that he actually comes to rule. Around that time?
Because remember, all throughout the New Testament, he always, Said my time has not come, pretty much seeing his destiny.
Oh,
okay,
You know what I'm saying? What he's actually here for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, although he's right there,
Right,
exactly. He's speaking about something that's supposed to come later
in the future.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
But your time is always ready. I mean, pretty much telling them to do the work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
What is it? NC. Well, I'm paraphrasing. The instant in season and out of season.
Yeah. I got the precept on my phone somewhere, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Daytime is always ready.
Yeah. And it should how Kodash always says, don't we say don't make sure, be sure.
Right.
Yeah. Don't make sure, be sure. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You always got to be ready. All right. So yeah, so that's exactly what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Right. This time it's time for them to die to themselves right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And his time ain't come means the time where he would, actually physically die.
Mm-hmm. Kind of, yeah. As it came, yeah. So yeah,
right.
You're right. Yeah.
They're in the process of repenting daily. Which Christ didn't need to repent.
Yeah, because he wasn't sinning.
Right.
Now, and also, too, a lot of people find that hard to believe that Christ never committed any sin. He was just very well trained and well disciplined.
Right.
And also, too, it says that the Bible says about Christ that he was an all-stern man. Right. If you look up the definition of what all-stern means, it's very disciplined type of person. So he always corrected himself. He always had someone to look after. I mean, he had the Most High. He had the angels. He was always, in place.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
He was taught well.
Yeah.
I mean, even from the time that he was born, the angel told, what he should eat,
Right.
The things, not to feed him. Don't, do this while you pregnant, such and such.
Mm-hmm.
All of that stuff had a meaning to it.
Right. Right. And he was teaching grown men at the age of 12.
Right.
Imagine being around a 12-year-old that's telling you, to do this and do that. Be like, look, you're just a little ass kid.
Right.
But this little ass kid has knowledge.
Right.
So don't look at the age, look at the wisdom.
Right.
Because that's what he had. That wisdom has no age. I remember that's something Captain Tazaria told me in person. You know what I mean? Me and him was talking one day. He was like, look, copy, wisdom has no age.
Right.
And he was like, do you remember the story of Christ when he was a child? And I was like, you talking about when he was 12? He's like, exactly. I was like, oh, okay. I pretty much answered my own question.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He was being taught, the time that he was weaned from the, you know what I'm saying?
And also, too, now, the complete Bible was not there around the time he was a child as he was reading the scriptures, but he read enough to know that he was low-key reading about himself. You know what I mean? Like future prophecies and stuff like that. But the Apocrypha in the New Testament wasn't there quite yet, right? Because I know it built up over time.
Yeah, the New Testament certainly was not there.
And no, it definitely was not.
Yeah, Christ.
Yeah, I would say the Apocrypha wasn't there either.
Maybe the Apocrypha was there because
the
records.
Solomon and shit.
Right.
Okay,
the records, the Maccabees, because they come around a couple hundred years before Christ.
Yeah, I'll say way before.
Right.
Yeah.
Those records was already there.
Yeah, and Apocrypha is the middle, of course. I believe Apocrypha means middle in Hebrew.
No, I think Apocrypha means it's actually Greek, which means hidden text.
They named
it Apocrypha.
Okay, so it's in the middle, but it means hidden.
Right.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So
secret.
Hidden secret, yeah, and that's why they took it away from us.
Right.
Yeah, Esau, yeah. So you got the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament. But around that time, of course, thousands and hundreds of years, things was being added to the Bible, meaning books. You know what I mean? As far as the book of what's that book everybody say? Enoch. Yeah, that's not part of the Bible. Jasper, all that stuff, that's not a part of the Bible. All right, it's not a part of it.
There are books, but of Jasper and Enoch, but it's not what the devil is pushing, because even when you read those, it says like English literature.
Right.
And it gets labeled as literature. You know, it's some of the stuff. I mean, some of the stuff that they put in there was in the actual books, but then they make things in it so ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, they put some real ridiculous stuff in there.
Yeah, Christ. I seen something about. I read something. I don't know if it was Enoch or Jasper, but just a little off topic. Christ had a child and a wife.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's like
I know what you're talking about. That was something.
I just
I forgot the name of that.
Yeah,
book.
that's not true. Like,
No, they're trying to talk about Jesus and Judas had a secret meeting, and you know some stuff like that.
It was something else about Adam and Eve.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it was something about Adam and Eve, or something like also too, like when you read it too, it doesn't sound biblical. You know, like if you study it enough, you know, like I was seeing more modern stuff in there. Like I mean, like the Apocrypha is still biblical, but a lot of stuff that you will see, it sounds how we talk today in modern language. But like just the spirit of Enoch and the book of Enoch and Jasper, all that stuff. It's not. I don't know. It just doesn't have that spirit of the Most High at all.
It said Noah was born white.
Something like that. Yeah.
It said he was white.
I don't know where that stuff's coming from, but it doesn't match with anything. It just doesn't match with anything in the scripture. But anyways, let's go ahead and keep going.
You know.
But yeah.
And pretty much saying Noah was a white man. Well, this is a lot of ridiculous stuff in it.
No, yeah, for real, yeah. I just started reading it for a time. I was like, yeah, it's garbage. I mean, I didn't think it was real. I was hearing brothers talking about how garbage it was, and I seen it for myself. I'm just like, yeah, I wasted about a good 5-10 minutes looking at this. Yeah, because this is crazy. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, go ahead and keep going. Then we close it out.
Verse 7. The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil.
So related to the Tabernacles, what would you say about this?
What Christ is pretty much saying is the world cannot hate you, but me it hateth. So, pretty much the world only hates them because of Christ.
Right.
Because Christ testifies against the earth, because Christ don't leave a gray area. You know what I'm saying? He don't leave a gray area. It's not bad mixed with good, any of that. He's just straight good and shows the standard. You know what I'm saying? It's the standard right there. He puts a defining line between good and evil.
Right.
Because now what's the world think? The world thinks that, the world thought Barabbas was good.
Who?
Barabbas. Remember the dude that they let go, and that the people voted for him to let go?
Mm-hmm.
They thought he was good. But Barabbas was a terrorist.
He was.
You know what I'm saying? He did some things because the people wanted to see him go against Rome. You know what I'm saying? Because he was leading. He pretty much was like a gang leader. You know what I'm saying?
I see that.
Had dudes up under him. You know what I'm saying? It was, and cold killers up under him.
Right.
And they was rooting him on because he was, doing things, attacking the Romans and stuff like that. He was doing a whole lot of stuff. That's the reason why he went before the judgment hall of Pontius Pilate. That's where all the terrorists, the high-level terrorists and stuff went at. But
no, I was going to say, so it's as far as that too. I'm glad he made that point, because also too, I don't know if y'all know or if y'all have ever been through this, as far as like anytime there's a feast day or high holy day, in general, like Passover, things of that sort, a lot of us get held from people in the world, like family members. We always get held like, oh, you're not going to come to my birthday because you was doing this, you was doing that. As far as your coats, that's why I didn't come. Yeah. I was doing something more productive and something more different and beneficial, instead of going to your your bachelorette party, to your birthday party, or this wicked holiday party, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, this is of the Lord.
All right.
See what I'm saying? I'd rather do this, okay? Because this is going to keep me safe. And here we're safe. Our children don't get kidnapped and touched. Right. They don't get harmed. Right. The men and women are safe and protected. Ain't nobody hollering at each other's wives. See what I'm saying? Ain't no, homosexuality going on here.
Right.
You would never see nothing like that in here at all. Okay, this is not, the purple cats. This is not them people that like to, have intercourse with 12-year-olds. If you know who I'm talking about.
Right.
This is not the ones that embezzle money over millions of dollars. That's not facts at all. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. And we keep each other safe and we go by the book. And what book is that? It's not the book of America, it's the book of the Most High, the Bible, the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what we go by because it is our culture, our tradition, and custom. It is our duty, it is our right. You know how people in the world be like, it's my right to do this, it's my right to do that, it's my birthright. I'm a Confederate, it's my birthright, I'm American. Like, no, I'm not an American. He's not American. Nobody in UK, we are not Americans, all right? We are Israelite, and it is our birthright to follow what our Father has told us to do. And we're going to do the Feast of Tabernacles every year, okay? You want to read a little bit more? Is that it? No, it's not. All right. So just to recap real quick, the Feast of Tabernacles, just to give you a little bit, we are going to get more into it on the closing. The Feast of Tabernacles is remember where we came from and a time that we were in during this time of the Feast of Tabernacles. Let's think about the wilderness. Okay, let's think about the time of the wilderness. A lot happened because we was in the wilderness for how long?
40 years.
40 years. All right, and a lot has happened. We had served the Most High during that time, and a lot of us did die off. It was a lot of things that happened to us during that time frame, but we did serve the Most High. For those that did serve the Most High, there were some that was ignorant; they died off. They'll come back to the regeneration. Okay. But we did serve the Most High just like we're doing it today. We remember his name. We remember what he, has done for us. And if you don't serve the Most High, we usually always remember what he can do to us. All right? Because if you don't do what the Most High tell you to do, he can do something to you and you will remember that.
All right.
Good night. You will remember what he can do to you versus what he did for you. Now think about that. The next time that you decide to disobey him in any way, shape, or form. Now tent and booths. Like the Native Americans is still in that same spirit today. And it's kind of sad today in 2021 because they should not be homeless. They should be in a better living situation unless they choose to live in a tent. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing unlawful about that. But how Esau have our people is very uncivilized, very wrong. See what I'm saying? This should be Native Americans having their own house, their own dwelling that they can own and control. The same thing with a black man. Section 8 got black men hiding and ducking and being in closets just to hide from, the people who control the whole Section 8 to make sure that there is no men at all in this place. That's crazy, man. Child support, all those things. And Feast of Tabernacles is a very important topic because if you think about it, all the things that we just mentioned is what's happening today in America for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's the negative aspect of it. But we should come together and celebrate the positive aspect of it. And if you come into the ISUK, you ain't got to worry about child support. You ain't got to worry about, having a place to stay. You don't have to worry about all the things. Oh, you ain't got to worry about Section 8 necessarily. Now, Esau would try everything to come up against you, but you will have wise counsel, wise men to help you get through it the smart way. Because what people don't have in the world is people like Jeremiah, Commander Jeremiah. See what I'm saying? People don't have men like us in Minnesota, outside of Minnesota, to help them through those things. They go through that stuff on their own with no help. But in here, we help each other out in some way, form, or fashion. That's what we do. All right. So with that being said, we are going to give you more as far as the Feast of Tabernacles next Tuesday on the 28th. I believe that is next Tuesday. All right. Or whenever the 28th is. All right.
Sundown next Tuesday.
Sundown next Tuesday. All right. With that being said, you got it.
Imagine.
Good. You ready? All right, cool. You got it. Nice. All right.
Upon that be done, rather face the east, and say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa,
Abinah,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Kadash,
Kadash,
Hayah,
Yah,
Shamka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Malakuka,
Malakwaka,
Taba'ah,
Aba'ah,
Wadazaka,
Abizaka,
Hayah,
Ayah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Barakaza,
Barakaza,
Kawa,
Kawa,
Hayah,
Ayah,
Bashamayim,
Bashamaya,
Nathamanao,
Athamana,
Lakam,
Lakam,
Kal,
Ka,
Yawam,
Yawam,
Wazalak now,
Wasalakina,
Kabuwafi now,
Kawatina,
Kazalak now,
Kasalakina,
Kabuwafi now,
Kawatina,
Mala'ah,
Wala'a,
Tabayai now,
Ra'ina,
Banasai one,
Wanasai,
Abal,
Abba,
Awashai now,
Aishana,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Ra'ai,
Ra'ai,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Amalakwa,
Malakwa,
Wa'ala,
Wa'ala,
Watapar,
Watapar,
Awalay,
Alumi,
Ama,
Amma. In the English, our Father,
Apa,
which art in heaven,
Child of Heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
thy kingdom come,
thy kingdom come,
thy will be done
thy will be done,
in earth
on earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this
our
day
daily bread.
our daily
And
bread,
forgive us of our debts,
forgive us our
as
debts,
we forgive our debtors.
we forgive our
And lead us
debts,
not into temptation,
lead us not into
but
temptation,
deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
But thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Amen.
Amen. Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah,
Asha'ah,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Alahari,
Alahari,
Mayan,
Ma'ayan,
Yaba'ah,
Yaba'ah,
Azari,
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 Ma'ayin,
Ma'ayin,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Asha,
Aisha,
Shemayim,
Shemayim,
Warakazah,
Barakasa,
Al-Yatan,
Ayatan,
Namawat,
Amawat,
Sagalka,
Gog,
Al-Yanawam,
Ayawan,
Shemarka,
Shamarka,
Ana'ah,
Nana,
La'ah,
Na'a,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'ah,
Ala'a,
Yashan,
Yashan,
Shawamah,
Shawamar,
Yasha'al,
Yasha'ala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shemarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Zalka,
Tazak,
Al,
Ah,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yamyanka,
Yamyan,
Yawamam,
Yamamam,
Ashamash,
Ashmash,
La'ah,
La'a,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Wayara,
Wayabra,
Wayal,
Ralan,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashmarka,
Call,
Makal,
Right,
Ra'ai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Atmapash,
Afterpash,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashmar,
Tazaka,
Africa,
Wabawaka,
Wabawat,
Ma'aika,
Ma'ayat,
Why?
Wa'ai,
I will not.
I will know. In English, I will lift up mine eyes
I will look at my knife.
to the hills,
To the hills.
from whence cometh my help.
What's coming my help?
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help comes from the Lord.
which made heaven and earth.
Made of the earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor
shall neither
sleep.
slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right
And
hand.
was thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by
The
day,
sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by
nor
night.
the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all
The
evil.
Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy
Shall
soul.
preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going
The Lord
out
shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in,
and thy coming in.
from this time
From
forth
this time forth,
and even
and
forevermore.
even forevermore. Prayer for the prayer, the Hakak, prayer for the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Hashem Yahushua.
Hashem Yahushua,
Baruch Shah.
Bakashah,
Dananau.
Athalanah,
Hakak.
Akah,
Hakak.
Akah,
Arba'ah.
Akah,
Kalmakala.
Kamakala,
Kalmanawah.
Kamanawa,
Hakak.
Akah,
Latahar.
Latahor,
Amatazarag.
Amatazari,
Hakak.
Akah,
Lahaki.
Ahaki,
Maki.
Mati,
Hakak.
Akah,
Arakawah.
Arakawa,
At the Ma'ala.
Fatima Allah,
The Garsha.
the Garsh,
Bashimi Yahushua.
Hashim
The
Yahshua,
Warama.
Yuadam. The power in the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of
Bashimi
Yahushua,
Yahushua.
please give us the power,
Please give us the power.
the power to heal all manner of
Power
sickness
to heal all manner of sickness.
and all manner of
And
disease,
all manner of disease.
the power to cleanse the
Power
lepers,
to cleanse the lepers.
the power to raise the dead,
Power to raise the dead.
the power against unclean spirits,
Power against unclean spirits.
to cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua,
In Yahushua.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. For the blessed Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Bashimi Yahushua.
Hashim Yahshua,
Barak Lanawa.
Yahna,
Wayasharah.
Yahshua,
Wabayah.
Habayah,
Safari.
Safari,
Barak.
Ra,
Ba'ah.
Mafa'ah,
Magun.
Magan,
Magun.
Magan,
Say the name of loved ones once, everyone repeats the name once.
all of Israel.
All of Israel.
IHK Minnesota,
Ashton, Minnesota.
Israel School UPK,
Israelite School UBK. All of Israel.
all of Israel.
Ashton, Minnesota.
IHK Minnesota,
All IGBK.
all IHK.
By Hashim Yahushua.
Hashim Yahshua,
The Warama.
Yuadam. In the English, Lord, in the name of Yahushua,
Lord, in the name of Yahushua.
bless us in Israel,
Bless us in Israel.
in the school,
In the school.
bless still shall protect
Bless us and protect.
loved ones.
Love them.
In the name of
Name
Yahushua,
Yahushua.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Elahayim.
Alahayim,
Al-Damayah.
Adam Yad,
Lakah.
Akar,
Al-Pekarash.
Atapurash,
Al-Tashakwa.
Al-Squat,
Al.
Am,
Kayahana.
Yahanan,
Al-Yabika.
Yabika,
Yaham.
Yaham,
Yawan.
Yuan,
Rash.
Yarash,
Alimaka.
Raka,
Yaryam.
Rayam,
Sawar.
Suwad,
Wayata.
Yata,
Yadazawa.
Yatizawa,
Yatazawapanka.
Asus Humka,
Marwa.
Mara,
Lakawa.
Ikara,
Unakidam.
Rakidam,
Magalia.
Voy,
Wala'a.
Ala'a,
Yazakar.
Yasakar,
Sham.
Sham,
Yashala.
Yasha'ala,
Iwad.
Iwan,
Kaya.
Ayan,
Yatazawa.
Natizawa,
Abba.
Abba,
Yakadwa.
Ikabu,
Aliyaka.
Ayaka,
Barya.
Varya,
Yakarafa.
Nakaraka,
Alya.
Ali,
Adawam.
Adawan,
Wa.
Wa,
Yashimai.
Yashmai,
Alayam.
Alayam,
Mawa'aba.
Waba Awa,
Wagari.
Wagari,
Kabal.
Kabal,
Waimuan.
Waiman,
Waimalak.
Waimalak,
Alasha.
Alasha,
Nine.
Ayn,
Yishabi.
Ishaq,
Because of war.
Tazabur,
Gum.
Gam,
Ashawar.
Ashur,
Nalawa.
Nalawa,
Imam.
Imam,
Hayawa.
Hayab,
Zawai.
Zara,
Labanya.
Labani,
Lawat.
Lawat,
Selah.
Salah,
Aisha.
Aisha,
Laham.
Nahum,
Kamagi.
Kanat,
Tasiyasara.
Hasi Asra,
Kayabi.
Kayat,
Manakao.
Manakao,
Kayashma.
Kayash,
Nashamadwa.
Yashma,
Bayanda Ara.
Bayanda Ara,
Hayawa.
Hayab,
Daman.
Amon,
Ladam.
Gadam,
Shayatamba.
Satama,
Nada.
Nada,
Ya.
Ya,
Mawa.
Mama,
Kayara.
Tara,
Wakaza Abba.
Wasa Aqua,
Wakazaba.
Ataba,
Wakatazal.
Atazol,
Manai.
Nanai,
Call.
Kor,
Nasiyakamba.
Nasikam,
Ashar.
Ashara,
Marwa.
Amara,
Nearasha.
Mariash,
Lanawa.
Nanai,
Ah.
Ah,
Nawaf.
Nawa,
Alahai.
Alahai,
Alahaya.
Alahaya,
Shayatamba.
Satama,
Kagalka.
Kagava,
Wash.
Kakwash,
Kapanya.
Pani,
Roka'a.
Raka'a,
Kaash.
Ash,
Dabira.
Tabaya,
Yara.
Yara,
Wakalahaba.
Wabahaba,
Talahat.
Talahat,
Aryam.
Aryam,
Khan.
Khan,
Darda.
Derdak,
Basiraka.
Basiak,
Wabasa.
Babas,
Wapaka.
Pat,
Dabalaham.
Nalahum,
Mala'a.
Mala'a,
Manyaham.
Hayam,
Kalawan.
Palawan,
Wabakashwa.
Wabafash,
Kash.
Shikai,
Yahawa.
Yahawa,
Yabashwa.
Babasha,
Wayabaala.
Waba Alma,
Haidia.
Aiken,
Ai.
Ai,
Wayakapawa.
Wakapara,
Wayabadwa.
Wabu,
Wayadawa.
Dawa,
Kayata.
Kayaka,
Shabka.
Shuka,
Yahawa.
Yahawa,
Baka.
Lapat,
Ayawan.
Ayawan,
Al.
Al,
Ka.
Kala,
Nagarataza.
Arasa. In the English, do not thy silence,
Inatasa.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh.
hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace.
and be not still,
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
O Lord.
thy enemies make a tumult,
Thy enemies make a tumult.
and they that hate
And
thee
they that hate thee
have lifted up the
have
head,
lifted up the head.
they have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people.
and consulted against thy hidden
And
ones.
consulted against thy head.
They have
They
said,
have said,
Come,
Come,
let us cut them off from being a nation,
let's cut them off and be the nation.
that the name of
The
Israel
name of Israel,
may be no more ever
there will
remembered.
be no more remembrance.
But they have consulted together with one
They have
consent.
consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate
They
against
are
thee.
confederate against thee.
the Tabernacles of
the
Edom,
Tabernacles of Eden,
and the Ishmaelites
the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
Moab,
the Garians,
the Arameans,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Ammon,
Ammon,
Amalek,
Amalek,
Philistines, the habitants of Tyre,
Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also joined with
So
them.
also was doing with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot,
Over the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah.
known to them as the Midianites,
Once them was the Midianites.
as the Sisera,
Sisters.
as the Jabin,
As the Jabin.
as the brook of
As the
Kison,
brook of Kison.
which spirits that endure.
Persia
They
Endor.
became as dung for the earth,
Came as known for the earth.
make their nobles like a rib,
Make the nobles like a
and
rare.
like
And
Zee,
like the Eve.
yea,
Yea.
all the princes as a Ba,
Our princes of
and
Ba.
as the moon,
And as the moon.
who said,
Said.
let us take to
Let
ourselves
us take to
the
ourselves.
house of God in
The
possession.
house of God in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God.
make it like a wheel,
Make like a wheel.
as the stubble before the
So
wind,
before the wind.
as the fire burns the
The
wood,
fire burns the wood.
as the flames of the mountains on
And
fire.
flames of the mountains on fire.
So persecute them by tempest,
First people of our tent.
and make them afraid of thy
And make
storm,
them afraid of thy storm.
fill the face with shame,
For the face of shame.
making me seek thy name.
They may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord.
let them be put to shame,
Let them be
let them be confounded in trouble
Let them be confounded in trouble.
forever.
Forever.
Yea,
Yea.
let them be put to
Let them
shame
be put to shame.
and perish,
And perish.
that men may know that thou,
That men may know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the
art
earth.
the most high of all the earth.
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed be Yahweh,
King of heaven and
King
earth,
of heaven and earth,
and all things
and
living.
all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
name Yahweh Shai.
maybe I will shout.
Listen to us now,
Do us now,
right now.
right now.
Send evils and
To
curses,
use the curses,
punishment, and destruction
under instruction,
to the heathen
to the
that speak against us,
speak against
like
us,
prophets,
that
like
prophets,
teachers,
teachers,
princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
it's like brothers,
the like brothers,
and the school.
in the school.
They send evil and curses,
To use the curses,
punishment, and destruction
under instruction,
to the heathen,
to the heathen.
and shake loose
Say, who's
the treasure of the rich of
the
Israel
treasure of the rich of Israel?
that refuse to give to the
Their
school,
kings give to the school.
force their
For
riches
some riches,
to enter thy
into our
sanctuary,
sanctuary.
send evils and
To
curses,
use the curses,
and punishment, and destruction
under destruction,
to the Edomites,
to the Edomites,
and the
and
nations,
the nations,
and their drug
and the
dealers,
drug dealers,
the court system,
support system,
the prison
prison
system,
system,
Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our
all
enemies,
the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
like synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic
Roman
Church,
Catholic Church,
the Pope,
Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
Skinheads,
cosmetizers,
Cortez,
the gay movement,
Gay Movement,
the lesbian
Lesbian
movement,
Movement,
spies,
Spies,
ones of witchcraft,
Witchcraft,
not the space program,
Space Program,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet
open up the internet,
and the
and
airways,
the airways,
cable access channels,
cable access,
and the radio
and the
channels.
radio channel.
Break the spirit of evil like people
Big spirit of meaning by people,
that seek to stop us,
stop,
bring swift destruction
bring to destruction,
to all the
to all the people
that stand in the way
that stand in the way,
and try to stop
try
us.
to stop us,
Broadcast your word
broadcasting your word,
throughout the planet Earth.
planet Earth,
Let loose all the plagues,
it's all play,
cause them to go to and fro
go to and fro,
through the earth and consume
the
them.
earth consumed it,
Let the plague take the house
the plague hit the house,
of the thief and the murderer.
the thief and the murder,
Let Yahweh Shai,
the Yahweh Shai,
Michael and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel,
come down with flying saucers
down upon us,
and punish all the heathen
push all the people
that come up against us
come up against us,
as we speak thy word.
speak thy word,
Cause to know by all
because we know by all,
that is the angels that have done
there's
it.
the angels have done,
Cause to spread to the media
because we spread to the media,
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world,
Cause to shake out thy coming.
shake that come,
Name Yahweh Shai.
maybe Yahweh Shai,
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
so be it. So, turn.
All right. That being said, that concludes the Feast of Tabernacles for the opening. You want to check back with us for the closing next Tuesday on the 28th. All right. That being said, shalom.
Uh,